Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. We speak about anything on this program: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, the war in Ukraine and Russia. A lot of people get fatigued on these wars and they're not bothering with it. The war between Israel and Hamas. A couple of days ago, Israel picked up about 6 dead bodies of the people that were kidnapped by Hamas. And the Caribbean didn't take a position that was meaningful. They pick up the sword on the giant sides. So they themselves, their voice have no impact in this war. I always believe the Caribbean and Africa should have called for unconditional ceasefire and peace and negotiation. And don't openly take the sides of the Muslim or the sides of the Jews. But like as usual, the Caribbean cannot get it right. And today, I think it's the second day of September, and school is being reopened in Grenada. This morning, I saw a lot of pleasant faces going to school. I don't know if some of the women more happy than the children. I don't know if they was happy that they will get a break for a while, that the children no longer in the house, or if they genuinely were happy and satisfied that the children is going back to school to get an education. You can pick up the telephone and call us on 4420175. And the long line is working now, so you can call us on long line. Yes, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I have to open back.
It's always good to open back, you know. You could practically dictate what we do after, you know, if you bowl good.
Okay, then. As you know, speak about Israel and Hamas with the war. And Israel find about 6 new bodies, dead bodies. Here, 1 or 2, what is an American citizen in that war. Now, all these people and them who were plainly taken for Hamas, and how many of them are speaking against that what Hamas did right about now? How many of them? But Israel do this and Israel, as I tell you from the very day one, I don't take for no side, but I blame both of them. Israel killed too much of people. 2, Hamas is fighting the war amongst his own people. He don't give a damn because he looking for political advantage against Israel. He looking for people to hate Israel. And sometimes again, Mr. Pierre, we have to be careful with journalists, how they present these stories out there. They make you believe that Israel is so brutal. Israel just throw a bomb on a community and kill a set of innocent. What they don't telling you that Hamas is fighting the battle amongst his people and shielding amongst his people. That is what that man don't care about his own people. These people them have no remorse against their own people. Yeah. So these people and then they come into all kind of arrangement for ceasefire. Them people and don't want no ceasefire agreement. They don't want it. They want it on their terms and conditions. No matter how much they try to give it and a win-win situation, it's like they that want to win and not Israel, right? So, in other words, so they make the world look as Israel is such a bad one. Well, right about now, Israelites are still thousands of them are demonstrating on the square for Benjamin to stop the war and give the people the terms and conditions because they want the people come home dead or alive, right? So, but at the same time, let us be mindful that it is pressure under that prime minister. It is a big pressure under this prime minister. Last night, I've listened to the opposition side in the trade center. Could you imagine that's supposed to schedule for SAS government school, and on the 99th hour, they change it. They tell them they no longer could get the school. So you see in a kind of political game is trying to be played, and they don't want the opposition voice to be heard. Our government, it will be more worse for you. No matter how much you try to shut them up, they will still talk, and now self they will talk. Let us give the opposition the time, give them the asphalt that give them the permission. Otherwise, it's going to be more worse and more worse for you, and people is now turning the back because a lot of NDCites who vote for these people, they are talking, and they are talking loud. They no longer bawling with their mouth closed. They talking, they fed up. So the government have to take heed of certain things what is going on. They have to take heed and solve the people. They get about 400,000 pounds. Solve the people. Yes, recently they get 400,000 pounds by the High Commission, the Green High Commission in England. Do what you have to do with this money for the people of Carrico. Help the people. Do things because look at Rav Gonzal. They have more money than Rav Gonzal, and Rav Gonzal is doing a lot. He's way advanced. So I call on this administration to do your work for the people in Carrico. Don't leave the house empty and say you have 200 houses to build for St. Mark's and St. Patrick's and you're giving Carrico people tent. Do what is needs to be done. Have a good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar. Yes, it's a very important point. As money is not the problem in Grenada. This new government have no problem with money. What has the government stuck with is the policy of the government. The government introduced restorative justice. The practicality, the workability, the implementation of restorative justice on the ground is a straight case of political vengeance and political victimization. The government set up an arm. They have the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation, and some MIT, transformation. But the mobilization in that ministry, that arm is for political mischief. And this is wrong. So the government don't have a problem for money. The government have a Ministry of Communication and Works. And they have a Ministry of Housing. One would normally expect that if you have housing to build, you have to go under housing. And if housing have to build houses, the Ministry of Communication and Works must be involved. If health have to build a hospital, the Ministry of Communication and Works must be involved. If education have to build a school, the Ministry of Communication and Works must be involved. But the government putting the money into mobilization because it's for political mischief. The government don't have a problem for money. It's the first time that we have had a hurricane affecting Grenada and get insurance money. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
And how are you?
Great, man, good.
Some time ago, I think it might be about a week and a half ago, I'd ask you about the gentleman who used to call the program because you always see, let us be our brother's keeper.
Yeah.
The
I'm still
gentleman who
trying to
always call
find
the
him.
program. That's why I called to find out
Yeah,
if you were hoping
somebody
we
tell
can
me
go.
they'll inquire for me. I'm still trying to find out if he's all right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And Cultureman is all
All
right,
right,
but
that's it.
Cultureman tell me
Okay.
he take a break from calling anybody. Cultureman suffered some serious losses in his agriculture field, and I guess that perhaps influenced his decision.
All right then. Okay then.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah. So it is the first time that we have had a disaster, hurricane, and we got insurance money. Now, the principal losses we had, the area we had losses, was housing and agriculture. So one would expect that the insurance money will go principally to housing and agriculture. the most of the houses that was torn to pieces are houses that was very old buildings like the church, and smaller buildings. It seems that the bigger structures was built better. Most of the roof has been destroyed. So one would naturally expect that 118 million comes in, and the government would put emphasis as quickly as possible in building back these structures. It's a reflection of all of us. You always say people deserve the government that they have. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon,
Yes, my
Mr. Pierre.
brother.
How are
Go,
everything?
great, man. Go right
How was
ahead.
it? How was the weekend, man? How
Good,
was the
good,
weekend?
good.
That's good. Thank God for that, man. Yeah, Mr. Pierre, NMP had a wonderful meeting yesterday evening. Rain or no rain, the people turn out. And no matter what the enemy try, whenever NMP had a meeting, the people would turn out to hear and to get information of what is going on in Parliament and what is going on in the country. And a lot of information was given out, information about the agriculture, information about the situation in Parliament, how the Speaker and the government treat in Parliament. I'm saying when you look at when you sit down in your living room and watch the attitude of the ministers in Parliament and us in Parliament, Mr. Pay, it is a disgrace. How they treat in Parliament. We have people that they show no respect for Parliament, where the people business supposed to be discussed on both sides, right? So that information will be given out to the country. But what you find happening that the government team are trying to stifle information from going on. We don't want the opposition party to say and let people going to carry on Peter Martinic know what is going on. I remember Mr. Pierre, NMP in governance, the most loud most that people were find was the NDC people who was lambasting and say that kind of thing. And nobody disturbed them from talking. Yeah, their freedom of speech. What? Why no? When the people talking, they don't want people to talk. If you don't do stupidness and you do the wrong thing, you should not fair. Right? They would not fair. And I always say, no matter how you try to stifle the truth will come into the light. In truth will come into the light. And when you have a prime minister who only interest is to be prime minister, he don't care what going on wrong. He don't care what his children do. And you sit down there and accept anything. We always say to people, when you encourage children to lie and to disrespect others, one day to come, sooner or later, that respect will come back to you. And I consider a leader should always encourage people to speak the truth. Speak the truth and to show respect to those in authority. Even to not those who are authority, but just show respect to everyone. Because I say respect is not something that you take, but respect is something that you earn. And I consider a leader that will be successful, and a leader that will shine and continue to be a good leader. We want that respect when you lead people to always encourage them to show respect. You might not like it personal, but you have respect for people in authority and have respect for the seniors and everyone. But what if you have a group of people in parliament from the government side, the immature, they never thought, and they just do what they want. They go say what they want and do what they want. But I always say the time man could do what he want, but the next time comes a time he won't able to do anything. So pay have a blessing.
Yes, scholars. Sometimes I'm disappointed at people's surprise in the NDC behavior. That is a group of vultures. They prey on the elderly, the physically challenged, disadvantaged children. They're well qualified to be considered as deceivers. They lie to the workers on contract, to the Imani program. They lie to them. They tell them as soon as they come in power, they're going to make them appointment, permanent, make them permanent. They say there is no need for a parallel service. They go quite in the United Nations and deceive the Haitians. They are well qualified to be considered as poor people terrorists. They take the low-income houses that was built for the people, and they have it in Carriacou. I understand they're more favoring people from the diaspora. And while the people in Carriacou are unable to come out from the shelters, those 100 house units are there. They are poor people terrorists. You talk about lies. This minister, the prime minister, has told more lies than all other leaders put together since 1967. So I'm not surprised. Slightly disappointed, but not surprised in this group of individuals. I'm not surprised in them at all. I don't know how the group in the diaspora could accept that 100 housing unit that was built for the people in low income because they were unable to go to the financial institution to get loan. And a method was designed for them to access these houses. Yes, caller. Welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, caller. Welcome.
Well, your weekend was good?
Yes, man. Great, man. Good
I'm
weekend.
glad for that. Mr. Pierre, the thing what was going on here, what we hate, that what we like. What they didn't want go on, it go on in a big way. And it's success. So what we hate, that's what we like. And normally, when we have to do something under LMC, they can't stop 6 rooms. They cannot stop 6 rooms. Mr. Pierre, cool open. What's going on with the people children in Carriacou? Cool open. What is going on with the people children in Carriacou? Check rain what's falling. Check how many rain. Shelter, what's really going on? We Grenadians, some of we Grenadians don't put in sense in we head. Check what's going on. We vote for better and we get worse. What is going on, Mr. Pierre? You could tell me?
It's difficult. Huh? It's difficult because this government beat our cockfight.
Mr. Pierre, school, what check rain? Yesterday rain. Huh? What is going on? And when you talk, you can't talk. You can't talk.
And nobody stop you from talking. People may, it is in the, you have to understand, it is in the interest of the National Democratic Congress for you not to criticize them. That doesn't mean you cannot criticize them. But it's in their interest. We have a free press. We have a free media. And you have individuals on radio speaking perhaps more now than any other time before. So yes, we could speak. We must speak.
If the government doing something good, nobody will say you don't have it time, he do good, and he has time, he do bad. But he don't do good at all. No good.
But the government do good, or you could do good.
No. Government don't looking at less fortunate. You don't look at only the needed, the people who could buy.
You forgot to say there was against the amount of people that involved in the debushing program, and they plan to plant our root by the roadside.
Okay.
You forget that?
Who government it?
Well, they forget
who it?
Because they were saying his handout, you're sharing money. So when effort was made to create employment, they was always against that. The NDC was always against government making extra effort to create employment. They say you're making the people lazy.
All I say, thank God I don't have to be the way in this morning, have to getting up to send children to
You
school. A
don't have
lot
children to
of
school?
parents miss the point.
Well, you don't make enough
And
children.
I,
A young woman like
I
you,
make a lot of children.
you don't make enough.
I make a lot of children.
If
I
you
make a
make,
lot of children, but I make my children only.
you should
I
make
make a
about
lot of children. But I
16,
make my
sir.
children.
It's a big
No, 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 no,
tower,
no.
brother.
Mr. Pierre, what I got to give them to eat?
What you eat? You make about
Yeah, what I
16
eat.
children.
But
No, no,
yeah,
so
but
you.
remember, the days you could get children hot water to drink, you can do that to
All them
in this
children go up
time
in
now.
hot water, they dead.
No, they don't dead,
They
but
leave the strong
not
as a
now.
bull.
But if you give them hot water to drink now, they are doing what you give them in the morning, you know.
Well,
Because they don't want it.
well, the neighbor must have more food to give them.
Because they balling, they don't want that.
But
They want milk.
we have to always encourage our women to make children, because the population in Grenada have not increased in any significant way. So women must make children.
I make.
Well,
I have
yeah.
4 boys, 4 girls.
Well, you try. You make half of the number, 8.
Yes,
Well,
I
you
make
try.
a football team.
You try.
So, Mr. Pierre,
Yeah.
I don't know how we parents making it this morning. School open. Carico people, all you buy a $5 can and ball in the wilderness. Mr. Pierre, enjoy your rest of the
All
day.
right, okay. I should make mention about that. The situation in Carrico was unfortunate. Not Carrico alone. MacDonald College, I understand that all the children are unable to start this morning. It appears there are some farms that are unable to start. And that is a joke. That is just a dismal joke. If the roof in any area move out, in 2 weeks that roof could be replaced, particularly in schools. So that is when you have an incompetent government. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
good.
And nice talking to you again.
Yes, thank
Mr.
you.
Pierre,
Good to hear your
I'm
voice.
sitting here, but thank you too. Mr. Pierre, I'm sitting here, my heart is breaking for the people in Carrico. I'm living in Carrico, and it disturbs me totally. Sometimes I get up during the night and I'm thinking about we the people in Carrico. Mr. Pierre, as we talk about the Chinese houses, do you think it's right? And do you think it's fair that they're moving some of the people's house that got destroyed in Carrico by Hurricane Beryl? They're moving them next to the dumpster. I'm sitting right here in my house, and it's not far from the back of my house, just a little way down, but I could see it because of the hurricane. All the trees are clear, so you could see as far as you can see as far as you want. But where they're preparing the ground to build houses there, or maybe what they call it a different fibram house for the people of Carrico and those who live in tent. I don't know what they're going to do. How dare they? How dare the government take all these people? Some of them house just all right, it's been smashed up by Beryl the hurricane, and they're taking them from there and want to put them in Dumfries, preparing the ground in Dumfries next to the dumpster. When the sun really hot and that dumpster stink, I mean you're getting flies all over the place. All in 6 Road, flies. Everywhere in Bellevue South, flies. So why do you want to take them people out and put them there? Why don't you give them the Chinese house, what was already prepared for the poor and the vulnerable people? Do you think it's fair what the government is doing? With what they come to destroy the people. Right now, I'm sorry for Carrico people because they are really refugee, and I can't see the way out because everything the government received to help the people of Carrico and Petit Martinique, they are not giving it to them. They make it more difficult for us to get anything. But I'm sorry for some of them. I know a lady, she could hardly walk properly. She's under, just toppling. Well, the whole house gone flat. It was flattened by the hurricane. And she just put up tarpaulin and 4 posts. And she trying to get her arrested. What's wrong with the house? Give her one of the Chinese house. The diaspora didn't work for nothing. If the diaspora living over there, let it go and get their money and buy and go to the bank and buy a piece of land and build a house. Why do they want to come and take out the food from the children's mouth in Carriacou? Why? And I'm begging the diaspora again, do not send nothing for the government. Whatever the government have, we're not getting it. It goes in the pocket, and Carriacou people don't get anything. So when you have the fundraising to say you're helping the people or the refugees from Carriacou, you have this fundraising to help the people. Do not take the money and give it to the government or no organization. Carriacou people not getting it. Send reputable people to come down to Carriacou and hand it to the poor and the vulnerable. Hand it to them yourself instead of giving it to the government. Because according to Mr. Pierre, they're vultures. They're taking everything. They're like the bird in the air. They're just grabbing and they put it in their pocket. And they're not giving us anything. NAGMA is another one. NAGMA is very, very insultive. You can't go to NAGMA for anything because they're closing the gate in your face and the police officers and them cussing you too. Those who are in the gate, some of them feel a little bit shame, especially if you know them. But some of the people who is the guard, who guiding the gate, they cuss you. You can't get in there, you can't even talk to them. I don't know what they do with all the stuff they have there. What are they doing with it? It's for the people, the victim, those who suffer from hurricane. Give it to the people. Well, they have the big supermarket in there. Well, lots of people met me and they say they want to go, but they shame. They shame. I say, well, myself, I'm not going because I would tell them off. They shame. So what NAGMA is doing to it? So as far as I'm concerned, people coming to Carriacou, they're voluntary workers, but they're going back with suitcase full of stuff. They're going back to Grenada with it, right? So as they say, yes, they're not relief workers, Mr. Pierre. They're thieves. They're thieves. They're like highway robbers. They're robbing the people of Carriacou until they can put himself in. Oh, I don't want to say much. Sorry, Mr. Pierre. You take care.
Yes.
You take care, Mr. Pierre. I'll call again the next time because they can
you
really
can,
upset people.
Don't warm up. Don't warm up. It's sad.
You take care. I'm listening to you.
It's very sad and it's very unfortunate. And I say these things are happening because of the policy of the government. The government won election. They won 9 seats. The opposition won 6. There was a serious shift away from the NNP in the hands of the NDC. Embrace everybody. There was no reason, no justification for you to introduce political victimization. The government lied. They told the people it was transformation, dramatic change for the good. But the Prime Minister said, we campaign on a policy of transformation, but it is not so much transformation, it is more restorative justice. And the Prime Minister is a lawyer, so you know what that means. And then the Prime Minister moved on and set up a ministry for political mischief. And it is so sad and unfortunate that Tevin Andrew is letting prosperity blunt the edge of gratitude. Just under 2 years ago, this individual was complaining when he got his first month pay, $2 remained in the bank. I don't know. I heard people say he never was employed before. But he speaks as somebody who was never employed before. So when he got his first month pay, $2 he claimed remained in his account. But now Kevin turned a heavyweight. He have money galore. He's making trip to foreign countries and they're getting nice podium. So Kevin get arrogant, or more arrogant I should say, and he letting prosperity blunt the edge of gratitude. We have called on many occasions, what is the government policy on housing? The government get 118 million. it was easy for the government to bring $10.5 million worth of roofing material in Carriacou. The McDonald College roof should have already been repaired. So school open and college could have school. All the children could have gone to school. Even in Carriacou, even if children had to go to school by shift, school should be open. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
And how are you?
Great, man. Good.
It's a long time.
Yes.
You all don't hear my voice.
Yes, that's true.
Because I can't get the station on my radio here at all.
The frequency
I have
mash up.
I have a cell phone. You know, I'm of age already. I can operate it as I want.
Yeah.
If somebody asked, most people tell me get it on YouTube, get on. So if somebody asked,
to put you on,
I get it on my little on my cell phone. So as I think it today and I get it, I say let me get a call because what is going on? It's awful. Hello, you there?
Yes, go right ahead.
Even the little 1 or 2 fat truck contract they're giving on the road in my area here, living in Mount Fan, Hope Mount Fan. It's awful. I know in NNP time, when July month school closed, the NNP look for the mothers and them that have the children to go to school and then to give them a little fortnight to help them with the books. But for what I see going in this area here, oh God, it's heartbreaking. You see just as how they're treating Carriacou people, just so they're treating the people around Monfan here. I see people who don't have even a parrot on a stick and they could help themselves. Is them what get the 2 or the 3 fortnights walking the road? Oh God, these people and them wicked.
They say restorative justice.
Wicked. Retribution go take them more than how we taking them there already. As I always say, Deacon Mitchell and his team, they seek to get the election on a NDC ticket, but Deacon Mitchell is not a NDC. He is not a NDC, bad how it is. The real NDC and them never. They do some wrong thing, you know, but they never treat the people and them as so Deacon Mitchell and his team treating people now. Because all what Deacon Mitchell and them doing is to fool the pocket. They don't have no love. They said that the symbol is heart. What kind of heart you think they have, Mr. Pierre? What kind of heart? I don't know. The heart, not even a Jandy's heart. I don't know, it's not a black heart. It's not, I don't know. God, these people and them, woe be unto them. And how you see that? Well, Carriacou people get good. Carriacou people really get good too. I have relatives in Carriacou. And I tell you, Carriacou people get good too. How I understand Carriacou people was it. Deacon Mitchell and the whole team should be out from the wall already. But God is good. Let God deal with them. And when you hear the time reach, the same set of people they ill-treating might have to turn and sorry for them. Let the Lord have his way. Let's keep on praying and call on God. God hear and saying and he's seen what is going on. And the time going to reach. And not long again. The time have to be ended in somehow or the other. God bless you. Have a blessed day.
Yes, well, I tend to agree with you on a lot of aspects. But we have a system, we have a policy in Grenada. Democracy is alive and well. Deacon Mitchell won the election free and fair. People vote for him. Even though he lied for them, but they buy the lie. I think the opposition now, whenever the opposition call a meeting now, the meeting will be well supported. Because on the ground, people have the die is crossed. The NDC don't have the ability. They don't have the commitment. They don't have the commitment. They don't have the capacity They don't have the competence. And they're not humble enough to learn. So one will have to hope that they don't bring this country into free fall. And when they leave, you have to call the IMF again. And Grenadians are called to make sacrifice to bring it back on an even keel. But we made the decision. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, afternoon.
Yes,
once
my
again.
brother.
I listened to news on another station a while ago, and to hear some not very nice news in this country right now, where a lot of the Kenco workers would have to be going home because Kenco as a company is shutting down, where they are no longer contracted to supply cane for the Renegade company. Because if you notice that it's two different companies, Renegade is what runs the factory. Kenco is the production, the cane production aspect of it, where over 300 acres of cane were cultivated in this country. A lot of money was spent renting or leasing land. At the same time, even when the factory itself wasn't running, wasn't even up yet, and I worked in that factory there. It's a factory I know from A to Z, as you might say. I have a pretty good idea of what goes on inside there. And in the process while I was there, I used to be interviewing or talking to workers who are integral part of the technical aspect of it. So, to understand what was
You have
really
a very
the
good
setup of
idea
everything.
what's going on.
Very good idea. I worked there for a while. And I don't mean with the company, I do the construction part of it, right? I work in construction. So what I'm telling you is that I am aware of the level of sophistication of that company, the potential for development. When I get to understand the company itself, I realize, well, Grenada is blessed, you might say, with an amazing modern day factory, an idea that, could bring a lot of finance to this country. And now that you're having the Kenco aspect of it to shut down, a lot of workers will be on the breadline. A lot of people who rented or listed their lands would no longer have that opportunity. You're talking about $1 million a year, for sure. You're talking about a few $1 million a year would have come from that company. And like I was saying, even whilst the company, the Renegade aspect of it wasn't functioning, they planted and planted and planted cane for years. If you might remember, for a few years before before Renegade itself was up and operating. So now these guys are going to have to go on the breadline.
I think maybe
Nice
I've been hearing that another company buy them over.
Yes, but what I'm saying, if the Renegade part of it, maybe, okay, now that I have all the details, right? But what I'm saying, the Renegade part of it is still there. So the factory
Yes,
will be
some
functioning.
changing of hand is taking place. One would hope that the workers,
yes, what we need.
Workers may have to reapply
so
for
far
job.
the
They might,
Well, maybe all that too. But so far, they say that they would be compensated, and the package might look nice. But if they have to go and sit home, or if we have to lose the opportunity to list all this land and cultivation has to cease completely, because look, for example, in the case of Class Coat, when we used to be growing cane and producing the molasses and whatever down here, or the juice down here, they now import molasses from Trinidad or wherever else and produce the rum.
We'll find that again.
So we're not getting. Yeah, so that I don't know if that is something that would happen with the Renegade. That could be part of the problem. But to hear that guys have to go home at this time,
no,
it doesn't sound nice in that time. In this hard time. And there's no, from the government perspective, you can't say, well, I'm going to lose my work across here and expect for government to create environment and create situation for things to be better, because it's down the hill Grenada going when it comes to the way these guys are handling the economy. When the supplementary budget was being presented around that time, news coming from the Ministry of Finance itself showed that Grenada was running at 30% less than expected for in the economic output. And that doesn't sound good. And maybe they would be glad to say that the storm gave them a good opportunity to go hat in hand around the world and see if they could get some money to stabilize the Grenada economy. But from the government perspective, Grenada economy is slummed.
Well, money is not the problem.
down.
It's the poor management of the government, the poor management skills, and the government doesn't seem to be able to impress anybody with that behavior. Every minute, what you're hearing is corruption.
The poor management skill doesn't enable them to initiate economic activities for development.
Yeah.
You look at what happened when Dr. Kit Mitchell came in 2013. For over 4 years, Grenada economy was running more than 5% beneath growth, So 5% negative growth. It was about 5.1 negative growth when Dr. Mitchell took office. So he had to develop, and within a year and a half, Grenada economy developed over 5% economic growth. So what had to happen there was, or what evidently happened there, is that the economy grew by over 11%, thereabout, to end up with the 5%. If you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here I'm saying, Kid Mitchell, for example, was able to do things to enable the economy to grow. Whereas in the case now, the economy is going down. And it's evident by the collection of the revenue. The government is pointing out now that they are 30% below what is expected, which means that the economy is going down, not up. During Kid Mitchell period, if they expect to collect $1 million every month, they're collecting $1.5 million. You forget the point I'm making?
Yeah.
So this is why when they came in there, they meet a pregnant treasury, because the government was performing way above the projections and everything. I mean, yeah, you set a target, and you might reach the target, or you might reach a little shortfall. But I mean, their shortfall is so way below that it put Grenada in a precarious situation.
Well, at least they have assets they will get rid of.
This is why I believe they were so glad to have the burial situation, to now find way of getting money, or begging for money, or getting sympathy, as you might say. Well, nothing wrong in sympathy if you're in a situation. It's an unfortunate situation with a storm. But they would have used it in a glad way, because now they get a chance to justify any action they would take to create confusion economically. Take care, sir.
Yes, scholar. I think sometimes our managers, these are the times I ask, where are middle managers? They shut them out. You can't hear them. Even you try to rope them in a discussion, they're ducking. In a situation like now, is it right, is it justified for government to leave people waiting outside and take millions of dollars and put in GDP bank for the raiders to take it? The government flaunt the law and plunder the GDP bank. Directors of the bank took money from the bank. Ministers got money from the bank. That's a raid on the bank. Now they put 25 million more. And that is some of their supporters, I guess, would nurse the bank. Somebody called earlier and said they want to fool the pocket, and I'm in agreement with them. Irrespective of the raise, the amount of money they're getting to $24,000, $25,000 a month. They are traveling. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. We lost that caller. They are traveling excessively. And I believe they're traveling for the podium's sake. Because when you go away, you are given, I don't know if it's 200, 300, 150, I don't know what amount of US per day. So these ministers are traveling, and there don't seem any end in sight. We have report that one minister traveled 24 times in 23 months, and she brought her spouse with her. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes, my brother. Good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah,
A number
man.
of people were very worried about you. They didn't hear your voice.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes.
I heard somebody call and say that how the economy is growing in you. Mr. Pierre, the economy will go. When you have 75% of the economy, 10% is nothing. For instance, they used to get about $1 million on Kaiku. They can't get it again. They have to spend money on Kaiku. Mr. Pierre, the government give up right now. They give up to $15 million for the people of this country in VAT and other taxes. How you expect to collect that when you have to give them that? Mr. Pierre, the people talking about the goods and things they have in Kaiku. These people are to ration the goods because the government has to feed them people up there for at least 6 months before those people could get on their own and have their own thing. So they have to have food there to feed them. They can't just eat them out. This, to me, they're getting more dumb than anything. They want to eat on everything one day. And for the next 3 or 4 months, they can't get it. They have there, the supply they have there, they have to use it all for they get because they have nothing else coming. The MP tell the people and them to say not to Grenada. This morning I hear a program saying, don't say for Grenada, say, imagine how wicked these NMP people could be. The NMP people are wicked. I could never buy people. They say no money to the government because they prepare to get it. So all the food stuff they get, where they get, who they pay from, all the lumber thing, where they get to build up them squatting, where they get it from, the same money, where they tell people to send. I tell other people that wicked set of people, I hear the people calling the program, they don't send not by the government, don't send not by them. These people are the head kind of food, the one kind, them have to get, they run the mother and say this and that. I call on people at this world to send things for them because for the next 3 months, the government has to feed them. Mr. Pierre, you have a good day.
All right. Thank you, caller. We're very, very happy that you are wrong. A number of people were extremely concerned about you. And I started to make inquiries and try to reach you because we have not heard you. So we welcome your voice. You don't have to agree with us on this program. We want to encourage people to be inclusive, to be tolerant, to look out for one another. Even if you don't agree with what a man says, respect his right to express himself. That's why we cannot agree with the minister in Karikou. And we believe prosperity has blunted the edge of gratitude. People in Karikou put great faith in you. You won the hearts of a lot of Grenadians. You said after 1 month, $2 remain in your pocket. Now you are attacking the public officers and the public workers. And that is not right. The politicians have to be careful. The permanent secretary is an insulator between the politicians and the public officers. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, let me tell you, this government do not believe in checks and balance. Each and every thing they put in place is to benefit them, not the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martin. Everything they put in place is for their own personal interests, so they could rob the money from the people of Grenada, the taxpayers. This is a situation here. This government is the worst that ever passed in the history of Grenada. Decan don't care about the people. Decan is the enemy of the people. Deacon don't care about nobody. Listen, listen. Just watch Deacon when he talk, when he around. You see, Deacon have anything. He have the country at heart. Deacon don't have this country at heart. Deacon have a motive, and the motive is to milk the country, and his followers and them make them get rich overnight, and that's the process. So if anybody thinking that they can go do something for Grenada, come again. It ain't gonna happen. So the NMP right now, they're doing the right thing. They're taking it to the people, and they have to. NMP has to work hard so that they could take the country back, so they can drain the swamp. Otherwise, Grenada would not be a good place to live no more. Grenadian, because the corruption that going on in Grenada is corruption that bring our country down. Corruption, it would be like Haiti. You see how Haiti is? It's corruption that caused Haiti to be in the way that it is. And let's not pray for that to happen to Grenada. Dick and Mitchell, well, we will make Grenada come turn to Haiti, like Haiti. All right, this is it.
Yes, scholar, and we are concerned. We are very concerned when we see the government taking actions that we believe is opening the door wide to corruption. The GDP Bank, the National Lottery Authorities, the excessive traveling, the fact that government ministers are agents in the CBI program, the fact that government employ an ambassador to the diaspora. Nothing is wrong with that. But that individual seems to be only raising funds for the NDC. The language, the utterances, the demeaning and fractious approach the government have to the people. They partitioning the people between haves and haves not. All these things going to destroy your country. Now you're asking people to go in the bank and get money to build a house. You're talking about poor people. Have you considered the land tenure system? Do they have freehold? Yes, scholar, welcome. And caller, you the last scholar.
Mr. Pierre,
Go right ahead.
let me get up a point in about this Kevin. What Kevin said is damn well right. I will tell you why. You can have people in this country, they get their full salary, and they're still going to fight for water. Leave the water for the poor people, put them walking, burn nothing. Leave it for them so they could get some water to drink. You cannot get a full salary every month, and you have people that starving for something, and you're taking it out. You're fighting right. Who is supposed Kevin, let me tell you something. Kismija have to apologize. Kismija can't go in the parliament and lie on people. Kevin never say what Kismija said. He lied on Kevin, and the way they make propaganda, he has to apologize.
All right, caller. Yes, caller. Caller, Tevin don't right with what you see. You see, the people are not asking for water to bathe. They're not asking for water to use to wash down the step. They want potable water to drink. So even if they have gallons and gallons of water at the home, that water might be contaminated. So they want the bottled water to drink. And if they're living in shelters, it will be extremely difficult to boil water to drink. And it is in the interest of the government to provide water. Some people may say, hell was that at drinking anything. But the teachers and a lot of public officers know that people are not supposed to drink water that is not potable. So I believe the fact that the teachers and these public officers are lobbying the government for water because they're concerned about dysentery and cholera. Not because they want water to bathe. They could go in the sea. They have drums with water stored. but they don't have potable water to drink. So I think the minister was wrong. Now he take a teacher or a public officer as somebody that's knowledgeable about health to understand the impact of people having to drink water that is not properly clean, that is not sterilized. And that is why the teachers are lobbying the government. No, you have to bring potable water for everybody. So even if the people is the enemies, they know if they get cholera, it could spread dysentery. You have people living in shelters. You could have the spread of parasites and hepatitis if they don't have potable water to drink. How much bottles of water you will drink a day? In a worst case scenario, let's say 3, 4, 5. So it's not that a teacher may not be able to buy water, but the teachers are not fighting for themselves. They said, no, you have to give us water. They're trying to show the government the importance of potable water. And bear in mind, even in Grenada, we have problem for water on the shelf because Glenleg is not in operation. So the minister was not correct. And the outburst and the attack on the public service by the minister was wrong. The minister should lobby with the permanent secretary. But the permanent secretary he have in Carriacou is a rogue permanent secretary. That make it worse. So I think it's important that the minister pay attention to that. And the McDonald's College School, as we reach the end of the program, it's unacceptable. That school roof should have gone back. They had enough time to fix back that roof. And the government, you have to get the children in Carriacou back to school. Even if they're on a shift system, they must be got back into school. What you're doing is wrong. It's showing gross incompetency. Go and ask the other side of the coin. Tevin and Joe, ask the other side of the coin. The Minister of Education in Grenada, I don't have much hope for him. I don't think he could do much. He has been in the system long, and more I find out about him. He's just another individual that happened to be there. He can't make any changes. But there are enough technical people are wrong. The NDC is too arrogant, too disrespectful. So you're not taking advice. The schools should have been open. Even if you had schools open, one secondary school open and you had to have 2 shifts. Even if in the primary school you had to have a shift system, you're getting it wrong all the time. So now we have our line back, and we're glad to have that color. People are much more comfortable now that you're on again and you come back with your full fire. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.